Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alex was doing weights in the Kyriakis mansion study when Ali walked past the open doors. As the workout progressed, Ali kept her gaze fixed on Alex's nude, sweating body. Alex eventually saw Ali and set down the dumbbells. "What, you don't have a gym?" Ali teased. "Unfortunately, we don't. Victor thinks exercise is a waste of time," Alex complained. "I came to drop Henry off to see his Uncle Will, but I'm actually really glad that I ran into you," Ali said before apologizing to Alex for what had transpired the night before. "With me, you'll never have to apologize for proposing a threesome, that's my solemn promise," Alex informed Ali while donning a shirt. Ali laughed sarcastically at the joke before admitting that pulling Alex into the problem was an unfair move. "Don't worry about it, seriously, but keep me on the list for future invitations," Alex said, eliciting a more genuine laugh from Ali, who immediately began venting about everything that had happened since their last discussion. "And I'm upset about my grandma, too, but you don't see me making out with the person standing right in front of me," Ali ended, causing Alex to grunt in frustration as that person. "I've seen you and Chanel together more than most people, and probably more than anyone ever," Alex said, making Ali giggle once more. Alex forged ahead, promising Ali that everything would be fine. "You are beautiful, you are smart, you are funny, and you are way hotter than your brother," Alex told you. "Probably the hottest girl I've ever been with, and I've been with a lot of girls," says Alex. "She loves you, she adores you, and that's why she chose to be with you," said Alex. "That actually makes me feel a lot better," Ali said, referring especially to the fact that Alex had never been with a hotter girl. "Very good, so why don't you go home and make up with your girlfriend?" Alex said, eliciting a determined nod from Ali, who dashed away after thanking Alex for the pep talk. Chanel attempted to chase Johnny away after stating that Wendy was not in the Horton flat at the time. "If you want me to go, I will go, okay? But I know you're upset over something, and we're friends, right? We are good pals. So, if you want to talk, we can talk about whatever is upsetting you," Johnny suggested before assuming the problem was that Chanel was still on the outs with Ali. "Last night, when I got home, Alex was here with Ali, and she wanted to have another threesome," Chanel started to provide an example. "Another?" Johnny exclaimed. "But the only reason she said that was because she wanted to get back at me," Chanel told me. Johnny began to run off in pursuit of Ali, eager to take complete responsibility for what had occurred and therefore settle the problem, but Chanel refused to let him out. "I didn't stop it, and if I'm being totally honest with myself, in that moment, I didn't want to," says Chanel. "So, then, what are we gonna do about this lingering attraction?" Johnny wondered. "Well, normally, I would just ghost you, but, seeing as I'm in love with your twin sister, I don't really see that happening," she said. "And, really, I'd prefer not to be ghosted, regardless of how complicated this may be," Johnny replied, eliciting a giggle from Chanel, who concluded that they would simply need to be more cautious around each other in the future. Johnny hoped Chanel could work things out with Ali. "I don't want to come between the two of you again, and besides, I think this thing with Wendy could be really good," said Johnny. "I'm happy for you," Chanel exclaimed. Chanel and Johnny finished their chat with a hug, and Ali entered the flat just in time to witness it. Sloan continued to irritate Nicole with remarks about Eric's misplaced cell phone when they were all standing outside the Brady pub. "I am not shocked you left it at my residence. We created quite a mess, didn't we? I found it lost in a tangle of clothes and sheets on my bed," Sloan said to Eric with a smile, before smirking at Nicole and sauntering away. Nicole stopped Sloan when she realized Eric was not going to say anything about what had already happened. "Instead of handing Eric his phone discreetly, you decided to broadcast it to not only me but to every salemite within a 5-mile radius that you are a pathetic slut?" Nicole spat at Sloan on Eric's behalf. "I am pathetic? For enjoying and not being ashamed of my sex life? Meanwhile, you're out here using cruel, archaic slurs against women, real progressive." Sloan reacted, giving Nicole a mocking round of applause while dismissing Eric's half-hearted attempt to interfere. Sloan wondered if Salem's residents had a designated town crier who could assist Nicole in spreading the word about a sinner among them. "Do you know what? I don't care who you sleep with, or how many who's there are. Just have some class, keep it to yourself, Nicole suggested. You're very concerned about who I sleep with, Sloane responded. Oh, sweetheart, you don't know anything about me, Nicole argued. But, as previously established before, I do happen to know Eric rather intimately and I know that he doesn't want you, so I think it's best for all parties involved if you stop being so desperate, Sloane said. Nicole silenced Sloane with a slap and was rewarded in return, forcing Eric to finally make a serious effort to end the conflict. Eric, I understand you're mourning, and perhaps that's influencing your judgment, but there's no excuse for the nasty person you've become. And if you ever break the spell you're under, I'm sure you'll regret laying eyes, or any other body part, on her. She's a repulsive, dreadful woman, Nicole declared before again giving sympathies and storming away without waiting for a reaction from Eric or Sloane, who both appeared unconcerned and were shortly eating breakfast together. Belle ended an emotional phone call about Marlena's funeral arrangements before entering the town plaza and running into Paulina. I just spoke with my sister, Tammy, earlier, your mom's old college roommate, and she's devastated, like all of us, Paulina said before expressing Belle condolences and rushing off to a meeting with a lawyer. Belle was astonished to hear that Paulina was in legal problems again. Sloane Peterson, that sadistic little witch, has slapped me with a civil suit, she said. Why didn't you come to me? Belle pondered. After everything you've been going through? Paulina sputtered. I appreciate that, but work actually helps me deal with all of it. It gets my mind off things, Belle told me. Paulina offered to take Belle to breakfast at the Brady pub, where Sloane had just admitted to being jealous of Nicole and Eric's relationship and was pondering whether it may be renewed at some time. Paulina and Belle approached as Eric dodged Sloane's question. Eric was astounded to find that Belle had just agreed to assist Paulina with Sloane's lawsuit. You're out ambulance chasing? Eric sputtered. Where is the ambulance? This is an attack on good people and a foolish lawsuit with no merit at all, Belle argued. Sloane is the injured party here, Eric countered. Belle and Paulina exchanged amazement as Eric continued to defend Sloane. Having lost a mother too soon, I can relate, and so should you, Eric snapped at Belle. It has caused irreparable harm to Sloane, not the other way around, Eric continued. Chanel took her mother away, and Paulina covered it up. That's end of story, Eric concluded. Paulina suppressed the impulse to lash out at Eric, not wanting to offend one of Marlena's boys during this trying time. Belle flashed Eric a sneer before heading to Julie's place with Paulina. I don't want to be the person who comes between you and your sister, Sloane worried once the situation was evident. It's nothing that I can't handle, and besides, I like having you around, said Eric.